we went through just, I would say, quite a bit of discussion as to how the art was created, how the pills were created. And can you just give us a little bit of an overview, Misha, so then we can discuss some other points around it?
Of course, of course. Yeah. So the collection this is a 10K collectible fine art project. So it consists of 10,000 individual Pillman characters or Pill Girl characters, actually, because this time around there's also Lady Pills. And I've created a master art file that consists of 37 different categories, and in a total of 504 different traits. So in the master art file, by switching on and off these layers, basically all these different pills can be created. So there's like maybe I don't know by heart, but maybe 20 different backgrounds, then different colors for the arms and different colors for the hands, for the body, different textures, different t-shirts, different jewelry, bags, water bottles, hats, many different traits that make it really fun. And then they have there's a lot going on inside of the spills also, so they can be transparent on different levels. That's adding a whole new a layer of complexity to these characters. And inside can be skeletons, different type of skeletons, organs, robots, different color robots. So there's a lot to explore. So I've made 500 of these pills by hand to sort of establish the aesthetic of the series and to create the different groups of characters. And then with my developer, we've used randomization scripts to on subgroups to create the 10,000 pills. So this is basically how it all got together. And then all the files that were created, the 10 files, they all had their own metadata describing which traits were used and making sure that no one single pill would be the same as another pill, that they're all unique. We uploaded all the image data to the IPFS decentralized storage system, and they were distributed randomly at mint, so people didn't know which one they would get. So that's sort of a gamification aspect of these drops that makes them so exciting. The people that are in early pay the lowest price for the NFTs, but they also don't know what they're getting exactly. So yeah, some are more rare than others. So there's been people that have been minting a diamond pill for $200, and they sold it later for thousands of dollars. I think the most expensive diamond that was already sold 1 week after drop was, I think, 18 ETH. So yeah, the one that minted that was definitely lucky.
So it's really interesting, to see what you guys have done with the collection in terms of just the particular care that's gone into this and the artistry. It's one of the highest artistry projects period out there. I think Valley was saying that earlier, and just looking at what went into the creation of the project, that makes perfect sense to me. Now the question is, it's almost like, Misha, you did not really just drop an art collection. You started an art movement, which is very
Yes,
different than a collection.
it's true. Actually, it's something that I hadn't foreseen while I was working on it. I just was thinking, I want to make the best collection. I want to put in this. I'm gonna put in that Easter egg. I'm gonna make it more complex. I'm gonna make it more cool. Just focusing on the art, and then it's
Why don't we just make that your birthday party?
what?
Daniel, can you mute,
Oh,
please?
Oh, oh,
oh.
yeah. So we're focusing really on the art and not necessarily on the result. But then when the result came in, when people start discovering what I've created, and the response was overwhelming. Like we had, like Louvelli told in the Zoom room already. We were planning to host our own room. But there was already a fan club room on Clubhouse with many of the buyers, and they were just like so happy with their new NFTs and the art and everything. And we went in there, and we never left. Also, it's such an amazing community, and the feedback has been overwhelming, very heartwarming, and yeah, it's super positive. This is really great for an artist to experience this kind of feedback and this level of support.
I had a question if I can, Mariana.
Yes, of course.
So, in terms of the way that the pills were randomized, did you create custom scripts or macros for
Yes.
your graphic design program?
Yes. Well, the it's basically creating all the layers, and then a pill consists of a random combination of these layers. So there's certain layers that have to be on, or because otherwise you won't see anything, of course. So I think that's about 8 traits are essential minimum for to create a basic pill, and all the rest is optional. So. Yeah, but what we've done is created a script that picks these layers and makes composites out of the layers. So it's a very organized system
Uh huh.
of traits. Starting with the bottom is the background, so the script picks a random background. Then it moves on to the next layer. That's in this case, it's going to be what's inside the pill, if it has an inside. So it could be green or cyan or pink, and then it pops up either a skeleton or a robot, different versions of those, then the legs, and so it builds up to that. And this is done by a random script that also keeps track of what exactly is picked from the traits and administers that. So that's how you have the metadata for each
Uh huh.
composition, and it also keeps track that no single pill will ever be created again. So they're all unique. There's no duplicates.
And do you anticipate that there's going to be software coming out soon that is configurable by non-programmers to develop this, or maybe even?
I could imagine. I mean, it's not rocket science. I can say that, since because this type of randomization has been taking place since the CryptoPunks came out, actually, and I've noticed there are several GitHub projects that do these things in the open source. So it's not super high level programming or something, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen. Well, obviously not, because by the sheer amount of generative projects coming out, this part of the thing is quite common, I guess, by now. There's
It'd be part of
yeah,
Adobe
right. There's
Creative,
over
the
300
Creative
of these
Suite, right?
projects out. So the
Yeah.
most complicated part about this project is actually creating high quality art, I think. And yeah, the random thing for non-programmers to come out, I think we can wait for that. It's probably going to happen really soon. The open source programs are all available. It's basically, yeah, not super complicated. The way you handle it, and probably need some artistic direction, and so if you go totally random, maybe some results might be undesirable. So yeah, you could guide that a little bit, but yeah, I can actually see some do-it-yourself or maybe Photoshop scripts or whatever coming out at some point, so that we can even have more generative projects. I don't know if we're necessarily waiting for that, but yeah, it would be fun.
Misha, do the underlying layers, do they live on the blockchain or are they also stored off ledger?
No, we have the artwork is stored as IPFS in this decentralized storage.
Ah, okay, perfect. And then in the long term, then like what guarantees that somebody's going to be paying IPFS to make sure that the images remain available?
Well, that's my personal guarantee. That's for sure.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, and of course, I strongly urge everybody to download the file, also to enjoy it on their computer and to print it out on their walls. It's amazing artwork, and if you have a few and you hang them on your wall next to each other, you can't believe how cool that is. The artwork is super high resolution. It's all 3,000 pixel resolution, so you can really make big size art prints out of it. So that makes this, really a fine art collectible.
So if I buy a pill and I'm a commercial entity, are there restrictions on how I can use the pill? Or
Yes, you can use it for whatever you want. You can print your T-shirt with it. You can put it on your coffee cup. You can hang it in your house. You can hang it in your window. We haven't, in contrast with, for instance, Bored Apes or some other projects, we haven't given full commercial license. So you have personal license to use this in any way you want, but there's a restricted commercial license. And as of now, we have not allowed derivatives as not to dilute the IP and the value of the art. Also, our collectors, where we've been discussing this with, appreciate it. All this artwork represents original Misha Klein artwork, one on one, and to have derivatives would really dilute the value of that.
Absolutely. And I do want to add that we're also in conversation with a lot of brands regarding partnerships as well. So we'll have news on that.
yeah, that's not surprising to me. It seems like this would be very attractive for a lot of commercial entities.
Yeah, that's what we're finding. So it's very exciting.
So I think what would be interesting to know, I've seen little music videos and lookalike things and lookalike compilations online. If you start thinking beyond art, if you start thinking film, television, games, music, right? Then I think the pill collection, even though it's owned by the collectors, could it be then licensed to a media company and or
That'd be very interesting. Absolutely. We are creating our own animated shorts, and we're definitely looking forward to that kind of stuff, or to develop a video game on the basis of the IP. That would be very interesting. So that would also create great value to the collectors. So I'm really looking forward to that type of projects to further enhance this collection and the whole project and add value for the collectors.
Yeah, I think that would actually be so interesting because you didn't give the commercial rights to the pill owner per se, but because you're going to have it, it may be placed in a music video or television show, you may have a game made out of it. Whoever owns that pill would actually have a higher value of the original artwork.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the really exciting things about this project is that we're really leaving no stone unturned. I mean, I think, the statement with the Times Square billboard is, validates that along with all of the projects and the releases and, the skateboards and the things that we're creating in a very short amount of time. And all of this is going to directly affect all of the collectors and the investments that they've made.
So if you're doing skateboards, that's just, sort of putting it on a consumer product.
Apologize, I was coughing. It's just one of the many projects that we're doing to involve and engage the community with contests and creative assets that they can get their hands on, along with the merch. And
Okay, but what I'm trying to say, you can go all the way to Christie's and do auction of a fine art, pill basically. But you also can do, you can add pill to the music, film, television, etc. But then you can also maybe distribute that pill to sort of for commercial use as a consumer product. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we're definitely planning also merch on the IP. It's very suitable for that as well. So but now we've already been sharing some exclusive merch in giveaways, but the plan is definitely to turn this also into a full line of merchandising with exclusive perks for pill holders in the forms of discounts and free drops.
I think it's awesome. I think it's a great way to build a brand. I think we had some questions in the audience. Is
I
anyone?
wanted to I wanted to add on, if you're going to do those drops for the owners, how you gave them like avatars in the 3D world and, of the original OG Pillman, you can drop little extra accessories, like a necklace or a hairstyle or little things like that they
Yes.
can use in the metaverse, and you can airdrop all those things for free, but only get them if you're holding.
Exactly. No, that's a wonderful idea, and that's basically what we started with these first wearables for crypto voxels, and we're currently also researching other metaverses. In the
So
end, yeah, the ones that are a little bit more photorealistic or well, a little bit more a video game or render based, that would be even more interesting for this project, since it has so much detail that
oh yeah,
we can't really express that in crypto voxels. But on the other hand, we love crypto voxels also, as it's very accessible and provides also some serious advantages. So we're super happy to to step in there with these full body avatars that are these crypto pills. Is hilarious to see everybody walking around like that. And but yeah, like you say, the basic pillman in a metaverse, and then provide other wearables, more like really cool sneakers or clothes and glasses and all that. It's a very exciting idea.
and if you have a live event in crypto voxels where you're having like a fashion show and you're going to launch the tennis shoe brand or whatever, only the people who show up there, you can do the proof of attendance protocol to airdrop those little extra goodies.
Exactly.
Yep. So the awesomest way to do swag, especially with NFTs in the metaverse. This is like one of my very favorite projects ever now. I've been deep diving this whole time, like
Thank
digging
you.
into everything. Your Discord is on freaking fire. People, if you have not seen this, it's crypto-pills.com. You want to go take a look at this, dive into their Discord, and you're going to literally see probably the most well organized Discord for an NFT drop I've ever seen. So go check it out.
I also wanted to mention we are having a Crypto Voxels party on Friday at 8 Central. That's 8 p.m. Central. And you will have the wearables if you are a pill holder. And come join us. We'll have a link to the space posted on our Twitter and our Discord announcements as well.
Yeah,
Adrian,
just
this is. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna tell Adrian I sent her. I'm sharing my sneakers with her. I sent her a pair
Oh, thank you. I
on
love those
Instagram.
sneakers. I love those sneakers. Thank you.
I have to say, the only thing I hate about this project is that it keeps me up late at night looking and finding more damn
We
pills.
have so much fun. Come on, you're just
Yeah,
making that up. You're
we love it. We love it. We love
we
it.
do.
I wanted to mention our community. I I don't have any words for yesterday or the day before. One of the people in the community, Jacqueline, she accidentally listed a pill for pretty low and didn't mean to, and so it got picked up by somebody else. Actually, it was in the community, and they were contacted on Discord, and they actually gave the pill back, and it was so nice of them to be so generous and be so kind enough to give it back. And
Yeah, that's the thing. What
that,
happens in this community that makes it super strong. One of our other collectors had his whole wallet hacked and all his pills disappeared, and he was really active, a community member, and he was really like so sad. He was like, I'm gonna get out of here." I was like, "Oh, give me your safe wallet. I'll send you a new pill. Please stay." So I gave him a pill, and I hope he stays with. Or he was super happy, and he's back in, and I hope he can build back his collection.
that's absolutely incredible.
It's fantastic when you have. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Christy.
Oh, go ahead. I was done.
I was just saying. I saw that pop through because there's the sales bot, and I was like, "What happened?" And then I went in the clubhouse to find out, and they told me, and it was so kind, and that's what I love about our community, but not just our community. This whole collaboration of of just the NFT space in general, and I think that there's so much room for collaboration and just excitement. And I've never met
Yes.
people in my life ever in the art world of 30 years in the art world. I've never met people that are not pushed into being dog eat dog. It's just like, oh yeah, you need some help. You kind of want to stand back a few feet and go, what's your catch, you know? But then you find out that really people are genuine, and it's just so beautiful, and I
No,
just love
no,
it.
it's really amazing. I can totally agree with that. As an artist that has also been working for over 30 years in the physical space, I'm really feel super good. And as a digital artist, like coming home into this NFT space, and I met such wonderful and generous people. It's amazing.
But do you think a part of the success of this project is, very, very, just amazing artwork, which when I saw my first pill, I fell in love. I just thought it was just so, so beautifully done. But it's also, I think, the fact that there's this new world that we live in where, I was part of the original, launches of blockchain companies, which were all basically developed by programmers, by software developers. And I was just amazed at the communities that were being built in these DAOs, and people who were part of this economy, building the value in the economy, being able to pay their bills from the economy, but also have an investment in it, how dedicated they were to that economy. So whether it was EOS or NEO or NEM or all these companies we worked with, Ethereum, etc., now I'm seeing this with the NFT projects. And I would say a lot of these projects that we're seeing are basically just these quick turnarounds of, here's my, 10,000, as Lavelli said, Noah's Ark, entrant. Pick one of the animals and you buy it and you can flip it right away for 10x, and then you're out of this project. This community was not built for that. Misha has a very long term view, and it seems that everyone who came into the community decided to be a part of something that's really big, where they can actually make money off of it, have an investment in it, and be part of something greater. Is that kind of what I'm hearing here?
Yeah, totally, totally. It's attracting, a very diverse audience. Also, I'm very glad to see there's also many, crypto investors that are only now, stepping into the NFT space. It's also been sort of new for them, and there's also a bit older demographic, people that really remember Eminem, Slim Shady, that maybe went to house parties before that, are in the crypto space for a long time already, and now see a NFT project that talks to them, and that is done by an artist with a established a long term career, and something that resonates with them. So it's very exciting how we managed to build this community on a lot of shared values.
Can I speak to that real quick? From being a person who has never bought an NFT before in my life.
Yes,
Of course.
please.
So I was told literally when this drop was happening, or right before the drop was happening, to check this out. This is the pill from Eminem. I'm a huge Eminem fan. I saw it was an NFT. I immediately said, no way, I'm not involved. I'm a big crypto guy, Bitcoin guy, altcoins and everything else. That's it. That's all I liked. I saw this collection or part of it, and I immediately fell in love. Bought two from somebody, and they sent them to me a couple days later. I couldn't wait to get my hands on them, that I wound up buying three more, and then within a week's time had 35. Because of this Clubhouse group and Terry, I have a family, wife and two kids. I've grown a family of hundreds more on this Clubhouse group. My wife actually said to me last week, you need to step away from this group because it's us or them. And I had to take a couple days off, and I missed my Clubhouse family seriously. But now I explained to my wife exactly what this is all about. It's not just about the pills, which I absolutely freaking love, pardon my language. Because yes, I like Lavelli. I dive in and look at them, and I'm amazed what I find every single day. But I've never bought an NFT in my life. I'm now into NFTs big time because this project is just that incredible. I look at the other projects, and I'm not going to badmouth any of them. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I'm not an artist. I'm not into art. I have no, I can't draw a stick figure, let alone. So I don't appreciate art until I saw this. This is art, and I truly appreciate everything that Misha and the team and Terry have done to bring this clubhouse group together, because it's phenomenal. And now my kids are involved. I have a 23-year-old, a 26-year-old, and they're involved. They bought their own pills as well, and we love it. And my wife is slowly coming around, but we got my immediate family back, and now I'm allowed back in clubhouse. So it's all great. It's good stuff, and thank you all.
Bruce, that's such a nice story. Thanks for sharing. This is really, like an example of how this project, reaches out and brings in new people. And the passion in your story is just really touching me. And yeah, I'm very excited. I think this is a story that some more people also that are in the clubhouse can relate to. And you couldn't make me happier with this kind of response. This is what I'm working for. This is what I'm doing it for.
Hey guys, I wanted to share something. Mariana, I shared one of my sneakers with you in Instagram. You're welcome to use it if you would like.
Oh,
Hope you like
wow.
it
Are
for
you
this.
kidding? Oh my God.
Check it
Thank
out.
you. Your sneakers are
Well,
amazing.
Wilfried is the one that he's down in the audience. He took it upon him to help the community, and he created for multiple of us these beautiful sneakers based on Misha's crypto pills. And so happened that I have two, and I'd love to share one with you to show.
Thank you, Terry. I really appreciate it. I will definitely
You're
post.
welcome.
I'm also I'm actually moderating a roundtable at the trading show in Chicago on Tuesday of next week, and it's about how NFTs are going to impact institutional trading. To what I think Bruce was alluding earlier, and how crypto traders may convert and become a Bruce, inside some of these NFT projects. And I will definitely bring this discussion up, during the roundtable, because I believe, what we just talked to Misha about, which is the fact that he's created this amazing art collection, which created a universe, basically, and a coordinate system we're all living within. And this group of people, Terry and Bruce and Krista and everyone else involved here, Luvelli, this group of Terry, of course, this group of people came together to live inside this universe, and they're every day they're adding value to this universe, whether it's with managing the rooms in the clubhouse, posting things on Twitter, creating different artwork, like that, like these wonderful shoes you guys created, and then projects down the line, hopefully with brands behind them. I feel that will institutional trading will never be the same, because people will be trading NFTs, uh, just artistic NFTs, which is what these collections are about, but also there will be NFTs attached to all consumer products, which is why Christian's here. He's, I think he left at the moment, but he did a great presentation. He's the a VC from Sestiny Capital, who said that almost every consumer product will be an NFT eventually. And I believe that you guys will be able to sell these NFTs to consumer products, and then those things will be traded. So if somebody owns a golf club and Mariana owned one, that's not that exciting. But if Tiger Woods owned it, or some other sports figure, that would be exciting, and people will be buying and selling these golf clubs in the secondary markets. We feel that NFTs will impact e-commerce, but they will also impact this media creation, which is what this pills community is sort of at the heart of. And so I will definitely be talking about you guys on Tuesday. Let me, if anybody else wants to tell me why they decided to join the community, that gives me more ammunition for the investors and traders. So thank
Mariana,
you for.
do you live in Chicago? I'm in Chicago.
Yeah,
I'm
you
based
should.
in
I'll get
Chicago.
you a VIP pass to the event. You should come
Yeah,
to the roundtable.
if you think I could help, I'd love to come.
Yes, of
And
course.
I mean, you've heard me in the rooms. I mean, one of the things that I really enjoy doing is matching people up with the crypto pills, like finding out what they like about them, what traits they want, and kind of curating a crypto pill for each person. And I really enjoyed it. I just sent two to you, Adrian, so you could take a look at them. But I mean, it doesn't matter. You can come to our room, and whether you have zero point 0.2 ETH to spend or you've got 22 ETH to spend, I'm happy to find the perfect one for anybody here in the audience. You can message me or come to the room, and if I can be of any value Tuesday, I'm happy to make myself
Yeah,
available.
you get a VIP pass for the whole conference, Terry. It's Tuesday and Wednesday in Chicago. It's called the Trading Show. It's been around for about 15, 16 years. And all the Wall Street traders and digital assets managers, investors come to the show. And we're doing an NFT roundtable, Infiom is. So I'm really excited about it because I believe this will be the next trading sort of opportunity.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. That Terry will love represent us very well. She will do an awesome.
Is it bad to say one of the reasons why I love crypto pills is Terry? I love the community, but Terry is just so helpful. Whenever I want to just go in, she always finds all of these amazing punks that pills that I have no idea. These are going to be worth more than punks one day. I have no idea how she
Oh, you're in the
find them
matrix,
at this
bro.
prices, but I've got a
I think Terry's awesome. I already
No,
told him.
Terry's true community leader. I'm just every day amazed by her deep knowledge of the collection, the kindness of her heart, the way she guides people through the process and educates them about the pill. Thanks so much, Terry. I love you, and I'm very happy you're here in this community.
We need an intervention.
Thank you. I don't need an intervention. I'm good.
You got Bruce hooked and Mariana.
Well, many of us are, I hadn't bought an NFT. I had been looking at them and I had been checking them out, but I just didn't get it. I was like, what do I do with this? What is it? And, this when I heard about Misha, I was looking at his history and who he is and what he's done. I mean, these these people that are doing 3D art, who did it first? Who took a computer out and decided, I, been there, done this with other art and decided to create 3D digital art on a computer. Misha did that. He's the godfather of ray tracing. Then he took it and decided to add music and started host, being a VJ. People think, VJ MTV. No, he's the real deal. He did this first. People don't know this, and when they realize that, these, people are going to want, well, people want them already, but when people really start to realize who Misha Klein is, watch out.
Yeah, I bought this pill based on the looks of the pill and based on it was connection to Eminem. And then when I drilled down to understand and did research on my own to find out who the artist was, I was blown away that I never heard of him before with everything he's done. It's just amazing. And now I think I know everything about him. Not to be a stalker or anything, but um, it's amazing. And he's so open to our community. It's incredible. So we learn more every day about what kind of artist he is, and then what kind of incredible person he is as well. So I truly appreciate that.
Well
It's
said. A
yeah.
note about Misha is that he has been designing these experiential moments between humans for over 30 years, right? Through VJing and DJing top clubs around the world. And you really feel that in these pills. There's so much cultural resonance that is plucked out of his life experience and all of the creatives, entrepreneurs, celebrities, and, well, CEOs and brand owners that he's interacted with. You can really see a lot of that taste integrated into these pills, and it really maximizes the cultural resonance. And we've spoken about this in the Crypto Pills Clubhouse room that a lot of the cultural resonance in these pills, in these traits, will continue to trend as the corresponding themes trend on Twitter and other, different themes occur in pop culture. So it's amazing that uniquely to crypto pills, we have so much cultural resonance. Thank you, Misha.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's kind of it's fun that people have noticed it from Eminem, but that's being on the anger management tour with Eminem, with the visuals behind there. It's just a minute amount of just a tiny little thing compared to what Misha has done. I want people to explore the work that he's done other than that as well. So please take your time to do that.
Misha,
Yeah,
what kind of
everybody that wants to have a look, please have a look at mishaklein.com. It is a very comprehensive site that shows my curriculum, all the projects I've been involved in. You can see all my art dating back to the late 80s. It's a fun site to explore. It's got little video clips from all periods of my career. So anybody interested, please have a look at mishaklein.com.
We also have a YouTube video on the Crypto Pills YouTube. It's called Who is Misha Klein? There's a lot of uh, different footage on there of Misha. You can see from the Mary Boone Gallery. Some of it we showed in our presentation on Zoom. It's 30 minutes long. Feel free to check it out.
Misha, what kind of Amiga did you have? Because that's a whole nother
Yeah,
information.
yes. So many people here wouldn't even know what it is, but the Amiga, Commodore Amiga, was legendary among computer graphics pioneers. The
I know
Amiga
I'm
was
old enough. I'm old enough to have been there with you.
I was just gonna
exactly so.
say that was like the first computer I programmed on.
I had
All
the T.
right. Glad to hear that you know that about it. Now, then you know how amazing that computer actually
It
was. I
was,
mean, the
yeah.
Amiga was the computer that actually could do animation, that actually had color before the Macintosh was still black and white. PC was
Oh
just
wait,
like very rudimentary. This computer was so much fun. The first computer games were there that you could play with. You could design your own sprite, your own little animation loops.
Yep.
Uh, uh,
I'm
And
thinking I was
music.
actually two generations
You,
before that.
music,
you
Yeah.
can
true.
actually see Misha's Shoom project. It's on that YouTube video as well.
A
Yeah.
bunch of other crazy party things that had to be edited from said videos.
Very
No, the
But
Zoom is too fun. That's really old school. That's really 1989, as far as you could take computer and animation at that moment. Amiga was able to do a computer animation, but then I wanted it to be more complex. So I wanted to have layers, but of course that was impossible. I mean, now everybody does it with After Effects, but then you needed a Genlock and a videotape. So I was
Right.
recording the computer animations and then putting the tape back in and gen locking a new layer
Yep.
of animation on top of that and on top of that, and the
Yep.
signal was deteriorating and
Oh,
getting
and
worse and worse.
the color cycling.
Yes,
Remember the
exactly.
color cycling?
Yeah, yeah, of course. That stuff. Yeah, that's really old school. Computer animation, unforgettable.
What made you do this computer animation as as your art expression, Misha? What kind of prompted you back then to get into it?
A few things. I mean, for one part, it was just the period in time, like the 80s, when I was starting to get into art, and I had educated myself really well about what has gone on before me in art, all the art movements, and of course, wanting to be a professional artist, thinking about where we needed to go with art when basically everything had been done. It was the 80s, and we've had all the movements, of course, in that century, from the beginning of the century: the Cubism, the Surrealism, the Dadaism, the abstract expressionism, pop art, performance art, land art, at the early video art. So basically, almost everything had been done. And in the 80s, the art movement was called postmodernism, and it's basically, yeah, everybody had sort of accepted that there was maybe no new things to be done in art, and this was, as a young artist, very hard to accept. Although I experimented with postmodern painting styles and all that, I was very eager to find a door opening into maybe a whole new art form. And then when I saw this computer, I was like, "Now that's for sure. No other artist has been working on computers. This is going to be a whole new way of creating, distributing art." And that became true. And when I saw that, I fully started embracing that. Yeah, there was basically no one doing that in the around me. But I knew this would change the world back then. So even how primitive it was, I could already see this. This would just completely change the world, and well, it actually has in the past 30 years that we've all witnessed that.
It's fascinating. And so here we are, Alexandra. Thanks for joining us. I told Alexandra that I would say this is one of these projects that was completely kind of driven by community development. And maybe she can give us some thoughts about legal constructs that may or may not work in that environment. Did we lose Alexandra?
No, I just have no idea where to start with that.
Well, in terms of
I have no idea where to start.
so the IP is protected. The actual art piece that you get a pill, to 10,000 pills that were produced. It's almost like a membership in the pill club. You own the piece of artwork. Now you can't go and start a game from that piece of artwork. But if somebody develops a game like Sega or Sony, you would benefit because your artwork is now inside a Sony game. So it's kind of a different model than what some of these other projects are doing. But there are also other models to consider, like a loot project, right? That project is all about community developing the actual creative pieces, and maybe you can just say how the loot is different from like this kind of a drop.
I don't know enough about this drop, but so loot is essentially it used to be actually a different type of game, but then what they converted it to in the NFT world is they basically they have items that they're listed as words, and the more people buy those particular words, then they can create whatever it is that's important and offer those. So basically, it's kind of the inverse of a traditional NFT drop where you have a bunch of creators who get together, decide what the look is and the roadmap and all of that stuff, and then drop something, and then people decide if they like it by buying it. It's the opposite. They're like, here are a bunch of ideas that we can put in a game together. People take those ideas and then offer something. You can all the users end up having community based artwork, and then they supply it. And then the community decides what's valuable and what should be used in a roadmap, what's rare, what's not. I mean, it's a very community driven thing, and it's actually like it's sort of a Magic the Gathering in terms of how it's from my understanding, right, of how it's how the game ends up working out. But it's a very interesting model. It got a lot of press, is done very well. Blue, or I know the guys on that one too, and that one they just modernized, quote unquote. Like this is the loot is more of a classic take on a game, that comes back historically. And and then the blue one is more like very modern, urban, like Lamborghinis and stuff like that. They're just being silly and having really a lot of fun with it. So derivative projects are all over the place in this space, and it's actually becoming an issue. I know that there's a lot. We're starting to have a lot of disharmony within the space, because while when projects started originally, I mean, like this is actually not a new technology. NFTs originally were game pieces that were designed to be able to be ported to different games, right? So you had coins in one game. You should own those coins and then be able to take them to different platforms. And for several different very funny reasons, it didn't work out as well. But the technology itself actually grew. And if you've heard of Engine, you've heard of the original NFTs. So but this is fairly new, and collectibles really happened just because of the number and type of people that were at the outset of this, and collectibles tend to lead technology along with porn. So I mean, it's so the problem is it's a very insular group, and what happens when you have an insular, very small insular group is you get repetition. It is what it is. So the problem is nobody's finding it cute and complimentary anymore. And I wish that would stop. Like it is what it is. There's a few models that people can have now, but for whatever reason, actually it's not even for whatever reason, for money reasons, mostly for money reasons, people do the same thing because they're trying to maximize their revenue. And unfortunately, we're going to start seeing some legal issues arise from this because there are people who are offering um, roadmaps, and people are relying on those roadmaps and they're not executing, and that is problematic. DAOs don't provide the protection that many people think that they do. I think there's sort of this idea in blockchain that is like somehow there's an immunity to law or something, like there's it's decentralized, it's magical, no one will ever find us, ha 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 ha. They will find you, they have found people, they will get you. I mean, you know what happened with the one of the last decentralized ones, recently it happened actually, that was found to have committed some illegal activity. They just started with the people who developed the code. They just kept moving from there. That's what happened when they got into crypto. How did the SEC start, like, getting these cases together? Well, they were like, nobody's reporting that. Like the IRS said, hey, 50 people reported on their taxes that they made gains in Bitcoin, and we read news too. So the SEC and the IRS decided to come into one of the sources. There's always a source. There's always a source. So they chose Coinbase and the hedge funds, and they said, look at us, we have subpoenas. I'm going to rip open what you've got. I'm going to match up stuff if you don't want to do it. And that is how they started identifying people. That's how they started tracing things. It's actually how they started catching people who were doing illegal activity. It's one of the things from there is what started them on the path to Anom, if you guys have heard of that. ANOM. It's like this software that the FBI developed that is just a tracking program, but they were already embedded in blockchain and Bitcoin groups so well that they said, hey, we've got this great technology that you should try. And all of these crooks just uploaded it, and they found a crap ton of people because they had been using a nom. And if you guys heard of the Colonial Pipeline thing, the way they caught the guy with half of the stash was a nom. So I mean, there are people in the government already looking at all of this. We're at 2017 in terms of getting this stuff actually through enforcement enough that it's public. That doesn't mean that nothing else is happening. There were 900 subpoenas that were issued in February of 2017. And we are now starting to see those cases. So I just want to remind people that there are laws that apply. There's a lot of stuff happening. DeFi is going to there's going to be a little winter there. But what I'm hoping is that people will understand that there's going to be, there is a real great use case for so much of this stuff. And NFTs have a huge, amazing prospect of like the four different areas I talk about in other rooms, whatever. But there are like these four areas that I think they're going to grow enormously. They're going to, one of them is they're going to move into DeFi. I think these asset-based tokens are amazing. I'm sorry, someone wants to talk.
Well, I think we
No, I
ran
was
out
clapping.
of time, unfortunately, because I think you just started the good part at the end of that discussion, which is, I'm speaking at the trading show next Tuesday, and the NFTs and DeFi space will merge. And as you create these companies like the Pills, company and organization and community around it, the value of the pills will increase, and then the value of the community brings value to the pills and the original artwork, and then all these other projects, derivative projects that come out of it, will increase the value of it as well, and then eventually this will all be traded. So, that's kind of where I wanted you to take it. So you did it right in that last kind of point. So thank you.
Hey, well, you just asked me, so I did.
Good job.
I'm there. I know all this stuff. So it's just most people don't really want this information. What they want, and I actually I ran a room saying we need an actual critique room. It was a great room, actually. I do an NFT room on Thursdays. This was like with BT and God Cloud and a bunch of different, like, it was a really fun room. And we were all talking about how we need to have a critique room. And there were some people who were saying, no, it will stifle innovation. Nobody wants to hear critiques or whatever. But I think we all need it.
Yeah.
Creators need critique rooms that are honest and fair and professional. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, but it means that if we can help increase value in some way, or if we can help you, see how, some changes, or actually getting a roadmap, or doing something that is innovative in a way, is going to change the ultimate valuation and the quality of the product and how people will regard it in the future. I mean, I think that that's a good thing. But I know, honestly, I mean, I don't, nobody has to argue with me about it, because I know nobody wants that. But
I
it
do.
is I think, a good concept.
I think it's a
Yeah.
great concept.
I
I
do.
think I think that we actually were speaking of that, Tiffany, with some of the people that you deal with that do critique art correctly, right?
Absolutely.
And then have some people like Alexandra in there as well, and open back up the talk that helped many people launch their careers, as well as NFT Tips did. So I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd definitely be interested in. And
Yeah, people need that help, and it's Alexandra. It's not really popular, but it's needed.
I'm gonna have to open up an entire new section of my IP that I want to do, which is ratemydeveloper.com. And so we're gonna have something specifically for critiques for NFTs now, huh?
I mean, I think it's, well, for I honestly think it should be for all projects. Does this work? Because this is actually what the nature of blockchain was as at its inception. It was a bunch of developers saying, "I want to do this. Do you think it's going to work?" I don't know. Okay, look, I'm going to kick you some tokens and I'm going to build this. I'm just going to build the base platform and let's see if it works. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But if it does, that's great. And that is how tokens were originally confused with capital raising transactions. That's actually what it started as. And I feel like, this idea of community helping to build projects that are necessary, that are unique, that are innovative in a lot of different ways, that take advantage of the business expertise that is around, that, takes advantage of legal expertise that's around, and operational stuff, and tells you how to build, and more importantly, how to scale. No artists that I know, honestly, know how to scale a project. They're zero. You guys are wonderful, and I mean no offense on that, but it's like the startup world that you guys don't really see, but it's a whole thing of stuff. I mean, it's just this whole, like, I try to run business for creatives, right? Like, let me tell you, like, how to tell if something's a good investment or a bad investment. Let me tell you how, like, financials work, what you should look for, things like that. I have clients I do this for, and I've done it for them for free. And so many of them are like, I just want to do the creative stuff. And I get it. I get it. I agree. It's way more fun. But this is the thing that will stop you from having to work until the day you die. So it's really useful. But again, that's just my take on it. And I know that there's a lot of people that have very different opinions. I am not here to force my view on anyone else, but I do feel refreshed in being able to vent that. Thank you.
no, those are some important points too, and I think educating about the history of a fine artist is very, very important. And I feel like, 6, 7 months ago when there were all of these drops coming, that just history wasn't even a part of conversation. It was just about what's currently happening with them. So I think that's a great point. We do have a couple other things that are really exciting to announce regarding the crypto pills. Krista, would you like to get into that?
Yes, thank you, Tiffany. So while we have everyone here, we just wanted to announce that we are going to have 3D files available for people this week. We'll roll out the date and time for that soon on our Discord announcements. You can find it at discord.gg/cryptopills. We also are releasing our AR lenses that will be available on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. I think it's really going to help integrate NFT also into the physical world and bring people who are, you know, not so accustomed to NFTs into our world as well. So keep an eye out for that. We'll have links, and also it'll be on our Twitter as well. So thank you so much.
Yes,
You mean even more?
and we absolutely have some amazing campaigns. I think getting the crypto pills into these different markets and crowds, like TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and all of these communities across the board. Also, the verticals like the music industry, entertainment, etc., is something that we're working on, and we're in the process of setting up a large Twitter campaign. So, or sorry, TikTok. So be on the lookout for some amazing content coming up. And Pip, I would like to give you a chance to speak as well because you're working on some amazing things.
We can hear Pip. Sorry. Well, with that, we exceeded 5 minutes above our scheduled time. We're usually just stay 1 hour in the clubhouse, and I know that the Crypto Pills room is open 24/7 with Terry and the team, and maybe Pip can give some more announcements in that room. I appreciate Misha being here in the middle of the night. Thank you,
Yeah, it's
Misha.
almost morning here now. Uh, I heard the mosque singing its morning prayer already, big time, and the sun is rising.
We so appreciate you being here and for the Zoom presentation. And we'd
Yes.
love to host you anytime you want to come by and give us some more info in any of our rooms. Feel free. These are always on Tuesday at 10 a.m. and for 1 hour, and on Wednesday usually for just 1 hour at 1:30. I'll be seeing Terry in Chicago next week. See if we can sell a few pills there. And Terry, you have to tell me what is a good pill for me to buy. So you have to back channel me all that. So I want to
Okay.
thank everyone.
Let's talk.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much, Mariana, for
Thank
having
you
me. And
so much for
it,
coming.
So much.
And
it was
thank you,
really great.
Terry, for
Thanks,
my food.
everybody, for your interest in this project. I really appreciate. And it was wonderful to be hanging out with you.
Well, thanks for making it, and thanks for having us.
And you've been
Thank you.
a Thank you so much.
Thank you, Krista. Thank you,
Thank
Tiffany, everyone.
you.